What if connecting your AI to any tool was as simple as plugging in a USB cable? That's exactly what MCP promises. Let me show you how it works.
All right, let's talk about something that's quietly been changing everything in AI. It's called MCP, the Model Context Protocol. And if you've ever gotten frustrated that your AI is all talk and no action, well, this one's for you. This is the tech that finally gives AI hands.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the huge, messy problem that MCP was created to solve. Then, we'll dig into what it is and how it actually works, and yeah, we're going to get our hands dirty with a quick tutorial. After that, we got to talk about the growing ecosystem and, importantly, the security risks. And we'll wrap it all up with the final verdict on what you should do next.
You know that drawer, right? That junk drawer just overflowing with a tangled mess of cables. One for your old Android, another for your camera, a totally different one for your Kindle. It was a disaster. Well, that exact same problem has been plaguing the world of AI, and it's been holding everything back.
And this is the solution, MCP. Think of it as the USB-C for artificial intelligence. It is one single universal standard that lets any AI, I don't care if it's Claude, ChatGPT, or something else, connect to any tool like GitHub or Slack. And the promise is beautiful and simple. Build the connection once, and it works everywhere. The chaos is finally over.
Okay, so let's start with Section 1, the integration nightmare. Because to really appreciate just how big a deal MCP is, you have to understand the massive headache it was designed to cure. This slide says it all. Look at the left side. That is the world before MCP. If you had, say, 5 different AIs and 20 different tools you wanted them to use, you had to build 5 times 20. That's 100 separate custom integrations. It was an exponential nightmare to build and even worse to maintain. Now look at the right. MCP flips the math from multiplication to simple addition. Now you just need to support 5 AIs and 20 tools. That's 25 total implementations. It takes an impossible problem and makes it totally manageable.
So let's move on. Section 2. Now we'll get into what this universal adapter actually is, and maybe more importantly, why the entire tech industry, from OpenAI all the way to Microsoft, decided to get on board. At its heart, MCP is really simple. It's got 3 parts. You have servers. Don't let the technical name scare you. It's just the tools you want to use, like Notion or your code editor. Then you have clients. That's the AIs you're talking to, like Claude or ChatGPT. And in the middle, you have the host, which is just the environment that helps the client and server talk to each other. That's it. That's the whole setup.
And check out how fast this became the standard. It's kind of wild. Anthropic released it in late 2024. Within months, OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google all jumped on board. By the end of 2025, it was donated to the Linux Foundation, making it a permanent piece of infrastructure for everyone. Look, this kind of thing almost never happens in tech. When you get your biggest rivals to agree on a single standard, you know it's not just a trend, it's foundational.
Okay, on to Section 3. This is where things get real. We are going from theory straight to your terminal. We'll walk through a real-world example, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your very first MCP connection.
So how does this dance actually work? Well, imagine you tell your AI, create a GitHub issue. First, the AI checks its toolbox and finds the GitHub server. Then, it basically asks the server for its menu of options. The server says, sure, I can create issues, I can read pull requests, and so on. The AI sees the Create Issue tool on the menu, selects it, and then checks back with you. Hey, is this what you want? You give it the thumbs up, and boom, the server executes the command. It's like having a super smart assistant who knows exactly who to talk to.
All right, that's enough talk. Let's actually do this. It's time to set up your first MCC server and connect your AI to your own computer's file system. This is seriously the safest and best way to get started.
Now to follow along, you only need 3 things. The Claude desktop app, it's free, a recent version of Node.js, and about 5 minutes of your time. If you've got those 3 things, you are good to go.
Okay, step 1. Find the config file. We've got the paths for Mac and Windows right here for you. Now, quick tip. If you navigate to that folder and the file isn't there, don't panic. Just create a new blank text file and give it that exact name. For step 2, you're going to paste in a little block of JSON code. You can copy it from the screen or check the description below. This code is what tells Claude to turn on its built-in server for your file system. Now, the most important part, you have to replace the example paths with the real directories on your computer. For safety, start with something simple, like your Documents or Projects folder. And now for the final 2 steps. These are the easiest.
First, you have to completely quit the Claude application. I don't mean just closing the window, I mean fully quitting the program. Then, just restart it. When it loads back up, it'll read that new configuration file. Okay, moment of truth. Let's test it. Ask it a simple question like, what files are in my documents folder? You should see a little confirmation pop up asking for permission. Go ahead and approve it, and you should see a list of your files appear right in the chat. And just like that, congratulations, your AI now has hands.
So now that you've seen how this works, let's zoom out in Section 4 and look at the bigger picture. Giving AI this kind of power is incredible, but it definitely comes with some very real risks that you need to understand. This ecosystem is absolutely exploding. There are thousands of servers available already. This is just a tiny sample of some popular ones. But just think about the workflows this unlocks. You could tell your AI to analyze customer feedback from Slack, write a summary page in Notion, and then create a GitHub issue for the team, all in a single prompt. That is the kind of power we are talking about.
But that power comes with real danger. And this is not a hypothetical. This really happened. In July 2025, an AI agent at Replit was told to clean up test data. It misinterpreted that instruction and deleted over 1,200 records from their live production database. This is exactly what happens when powerful tools misunderstand our sometimes ambiguous commands.
And the risk isn't just about the AI making a mistake. The tools themselves can be the problem. A recent study found that a staggering 43% of open-source MCP servers have serious security flaws. Flaws that could let an attacker run malicious code on your machine. This means that choosing your servers carefully isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential.
So how do you stay safe? Just follow these 4 rules. First, the principle of least privilege. Only give a tool access to the specific things it absolutely needs and nothing more. Second, always keep a human in the loop. That's you. Actually read the confirmation messages before you click yes. Third, check your sources. Stick to official servers from companies you trust. And finally, if you can, run these tools in a sandbox, a contained environment that limits any potential damage.
Okay, let's bring it all home in our final section, the verdict. We've talked about the what, the why, and the how. Now let's figure out where MCP fits in the grand scheme of things and what you should do next.
Now, it's important to note MCP isn't the only way to get this done. You've got function calling from API providers, which is fine for simple stuff. You've got direct APIs, which are great for predictable non-AI workflows. But as you can see, MCP's superpower is high reusability. It's built for those complex systems where you're using lots of tools and maybe even lots of different AIs. So the final verdict is this. MCP is not hype. It's the real deal. The fact that every single major player in AI adopted it tells you everything you need to know. This is the new foundational infrastructure for how AI interacts with the world. Learning it now is like learning how to use the internet back in 1995.
So, what should you do right after watching this? Here is a simple, safe plan. 1. Do what we did in the tutorial and install that file system server. It's the best way to learn. 2. Pick just one other tool you use every single day, maybe GitHub, maybe Slack, and connect that. And 3, this is the most important one, keep human approval turned on for everything. Do not let the AI run around unsupervised.
We started this by saying that MCP gives AI assistants hands. They can now interact with our digital world in a real, tangible way. So the question is no longer if this is possible. The only question now is, what are we going to do with it? So I'll leave you with this final thought. AI can now build, it can fix, it can organize, it can create. What will you build first?
Now you know what MCP is and why it matters. Want the full setup guide with code examples and security warnings? Link to the complete article is in the description. And if you want honest AI tool breakdowns like this every week, hit subscribe. I test these tools so you don't have to.